The golden dollar gleams under the light, its surface flawless, yet something about this coin feels different from the millions that passed through the Philadelphia Mint. The edge lettering, that distinctive incuse inscription, holds a secret that has captivated era collectors for years. Among the countless coins that rolled off the production lines, a handful emerged with defects so subtle that most people would never notice them, yet so significant that they have become the subject of intense collector competition and extraordinary value. The coin in your hand, or perhaps the one you've only glimpsed in a dealer's case, is a piece of a grand American experiment, a modern relic from a time when the nation was grappling with economic uncertainty and a renewed desire to honor its often overlooked history. This is the 2009 Sacagawea dollar, but to call it simply a Sacagawea dollar is to miss the story entirely, for 2009 marked a fundamental shift in the series. It was the year the classic, Native American, or golden dollar, ceased to be a simple, static design and became a rotating canvas for a new annual program, one dedicated to celebrating the contributions of Native Americans to the United States. And the Denver Mint, with its D Mint mark, was one of the primary engines of this new beginning, striking tens of millions of these pieces that would fan out across the nation, mostly unspent, mostly unloved, yet holding within their golden-hued surfaces a secret that could make a single, pristine specimen worth a small fortune to the discerning collector. We will journey into that secret, uncovering the exact factors that separate a pocket change piece from a numismatic treasure, and by the end, you will understand precisely what market values have been realized for these coins and the true determinants of their worth. The 2009 Native American dollar represents a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage, not just for the new reverse design, but for the very process of its creation. The obverse, designed by Glenna Goodacre, remained the familiar portrait of Sacagawea, the Shoshone guide, with her infant son Jean-Baptiste slung on her back, a powerful and tender image of motherhood and resilience that had graced the denomination since its introduction in 2000. However, the reverse, now the work of sculptor Norman E. Nemeth, was entirely new and beautifully complex, depicting a Native American woman planting seeds in a field, surrounded by the three sisters of agriculture, corn, beans, and squash. This wasn't just a change for aesthetic purposes. It was the start of the Native American $1 coin program, a legislative mandate ensuring that the accomplishments of Native Americans would be honored annually on a circulating coin. At 26.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing 8.1 grams, the coin retained its distinctive golden color, achieved through a manganese brass composition, 5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel, a mixture that was both durable and visually striking, intended to distinguish it from its silver-hued brethren and promote its use in commerce. Despite the noble intentions behind its creation, the 2009 Native American dollar, with a mintage of over 35.7 million pieces struck at the Denver facility, was never destined to be a runaway success in the pockets of everyday Americans. Like its Sacagawea predecessors, it was met with public indifference, a reluctance to abandon the familiar paper dollar for a heavier coin, leading to vast quantities sitting in Federal Reserve vaults and being sold directly to collectors in rolls and boxes. This lack of circulation is the first key to understanding its collector value, for it means that finding a truly high-grade, mint-state example is a more nuanced challenge than it appears. While a typical circulated example may only hold a slight premium over its face value, the coin's real value is unlocked in the upper echelons of the grading scale, where gem and superb gem coins are coveted. For example, a coin graded MS65 might be considered common and easily obtainable, but stepping up to MS67 is where the scarcity becomes dramatic, with experts noting that less than 200 examples are known to exist in this condition for the 2009 position of variety, making it a significant prize for a collector. But the true intrigue of the 2009 Native American dollar lies not just in its grade, but in the intricacies of its edge and the peculiarities of the minting process. For the first time in the series, the date and mint mark were moved from the obverse field to the edge of the coin, a change that introduced a new frontier for error collectors. The edge lettering, applied in a separate step after the initial striking, was supposed to read 2009D. This is where the concept of position A and position B becomes critical. These positions refer to the orientation of the edge lettering in relation to the obverse. In position A, the edge lettering is upright when the coin's obverse faces up. In position B, it is upside down. While the market generally doesn't differentiate much in price between the two positions for standard business strikes, the errors that occurred during this secondary process are what can propel the coin's value into a different stratosphere. Specifically, the 2009D coins are known for several edge lettering anomalies, each with a distinct value proposition. There is the weak edge lettering error, where the lettering isn't fully and deeply impressed, a result of insufficient pressure or a misaligned die. Then there is the partial edge lettering error, where a portion of the edge is missing entirely, often caused by a coin becoming jammed in the Schuler edge lettering machine. Even more intriguing is the missing edge lettering error, where a coin completely skipped the edge lettering step and was released with a perfectly plain edge, a manufacturing omission that captured the attention of the numismatic world. At the time of their discovery, these coins were only available directly from the US Mint, and the first known missing edge specimen was found by a collector in a $250 box of coins, sparking a frantic search for more. While the business strike missing edge errors are considered much more common than the satin finish versions, they still command a significant premium. For a missing edge lettering coin in MS67, the market has seen prices around $825, while a weak edge lettering example can also bring in hundreds of dollars, with the value scaling dramatically with the grade. The collector demand for these coins, therefore, is not driven by simple scarcity of the date, but by the hunt for perfection and the fascination with the error. The standard 2009D business strike, even in MS67, can command prices in the range of $40 to $80, a substantial increase from the few dollars it's worth in lower uncirculated grades. However, when you introduce the error and condition variables, the potential for a multi-thousand-dollar piece becomes very real. An authenticated, professionally graded example of a partial edge lettering or weak edge lettering error in the very pinnacle of condition, perhaps a grade of MS67 or MS68, has the potential to realize values in excess of $1,000 to $4,000, depending on the specific variety and the appetite of collectors. The value is dictated by a confluence of factors: the scarcity of the specific error, the grade assigned by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, the overall eye appeal of the coin, and the history of the piece. It is the marriage of rarity and condition that creates the most coveted trophies. For the modern numismatist, the 2009D Sacagawea dollar is a fascinating study in how a common, modern coin can be transformed by a combination of historical significance, manufacturing quirks, and the relentless pursuit of perfection by collectors. It is a coin that challenges the conventional wisdom that a coin's age is its primary driver of value. Here, a coin barely a decade and a half old can be worth more than many 19th century silver dollars, provided it possesses the right combination of grade and error. The preservation of such coins is paramount, as any friction or marks from being handled or stored improperly will immediately diminish its grade and consequently its value. Serious collectors handle these pieces with white cotton gloves, store them in inert, non-PVC flips or capsules, and often seek the expertise of third-party grading services to certify their coin's condition and authenticity, thus providing a secure and verifiable benchmark for its value in the market. The 2009D Native American dollar is a modern legend, a coin that speaks to the complexities of U.S. minting operations and the dynamic nature of the collector market. It stands as a testament to the idea that history is not just written in textbooks, but is minted in the millions and placed into our hands, waiting for a keen eye to recognize its hidden potential. The legacy of this coin will not be its widespread use in commerce, but its role in expanding the boundaries of modern-era collecting and its ability to commemorate a rich cultural heritage with an artistic and enduring design. For the collector, it offers a tangible link to a specific moment in American history, a coin that is both a piece of art and a puzzle, where the true value is unlocked not by accident, but by knowledge, patience, and a deep appreciation for the remarkable stories that coins tell. The coin in your hand, bearing the simple P Mint mark of the Philadelphia Mint, appears at first glance to be just another golden dollar, one of nearly 750 million struck in the year 2000. Yet beneath its lustrous surface lies one of the most fascinating and complex stories in modern American numismatics, a tale of grand ambition, public indifference, and a few spectacular mistakes that have turned this otherwise common coin into a legendary treasure. While most people would spend it without a second thought, a small subset of these 2000p Sacagawea dollars have achieved near-mythical status among collectors, commanding prices that rival the rarest silver dollars of the 19th century. In the coming narrative, we will unravel the mystery of this coin, exploring how a massive mintage can still harbor incredible rarity, and we will discover precisely what factors separate a pocket change piece from a five-figure auction record. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar was born from the Coinage Act of 1997, a legislative mandate that sought to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar with a coin that would finally gain widespread public acceptance. The new dollar was designed to be distinctive, featuring a golden color achieved through a manganese brass composition, a metallic sandwich of pure copper clad with outer layers of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel, resulting in an overall composition of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. It measured 26.5 millimeters in diameter, weighed 8.1 grams, and possessed a plain edge, distinguishing it from its silver-hued predecessors. The obverse, designed by renowned sculptor Glenna Goodacre, depicted a striking three-quarter profile of Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition, carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. In a departure from numismatic tradition, Goodacre portrayed Sacagawea looking directly at the holder, her large, dark eyes conveying a sense of strength and humanity that resonated deeply with the public. The reverse, designed by Thomas D. Rogers, SR, featured a soaring eagle encircled by 17 stars, a powerful and patriotic image intended to complement the poignant obverse. The initial distribution of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar was nothing short of a blitzkrieg. The U.S. Mint, determined to ensure the coin's success, orchestrated a massive promotional campaign that included shipping millions of coins to retail stores nationwide and to the Federal Reserve for general distribution. Some of the first coins were released as early as January 2000, with the official distribution beginning later that month, where customers could receive them as change. The public was encouraged to use them in vending machines, subway turnstiles, and everyday commerce. However, despite this unprecedented marketing push, the new golden dollar was met with a resounding thud of indifference. The public was simply not ready to abandon the familiar paper dollar, and the coin, like its predecessor, failed to gain traction in everyday transactions. By the end of 2000, the Mint had struck a staggering 767,140,000 of these coins at the Philadelphia facility, a mintage that remains an astronomical figure in the annals of U.S. coin production. Ironically, this massive production was the very seed of the coin's future numismatic significance. The true legend of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar lies not in its initial circulation, but in the remarkable errors and special strikes that occurred during its production. By far the most famous and valuable of these is the Cheerios dollar, a variety that was not even recognized as a distinct coin until 2005. In late 1999, the Mint provided specially struck 2000 dated Sacagawea dollars to General Mills for a promotional campaign, where they were placed in random boxes of Cheerios cereal. It was not until years later that eagle-eyed collectors realized these promotional coins featured a unique reverse die. This prototype reverse exhibited a dramatic difference in the eagle's tail feathers, which were bold and sharply detailed with distinct veins. The standard circulation strike dollars, however, featured a reverse with the tail feathers smoothed out and simplified, a late-stage design change requested by the mint. Today, the Cheerios dollar is one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins, with certified examples realizing prices well into 5 figures. Beyond the Cheerios dollar, the 2000p offers a numismatic landscape rich with other extraordinary rarities. Among these is the Gudaka presentation piece, a special strike coin created from examples that were presented to sculptor Glenna Gudaka as a royalty payment for her obverse design. These coins were struck on specially prepared planchets with a superior finish, and they remain highly collectible. However, the most astonishing and famous error of the series is the 2000p Sacagawea dollar Washington quarter mule. A mule is a coin struck with mismatched dies from 2 different denominations, an error so egregious that it was previously considered almost impossible in modern minting. The result was a coin featuring the obverse of a statehood quarter and the reverse of a golden dollar, a bizarre hybrid. Over the years, only about 2 dozen examples of this error have been discovered, making it one of the rarest and most desirable of all U.S. era coins. The demand for these mules is so intense that certified examples have commanded prices approaching the 6-figure mark. For the typical collector, however, the numismatic value of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is a story of nuance and condition. While the vast majority of these coins are worth only their face value, the pursuit of perfection has created a robust market for the finest examples. Achieving a grade of MS67 or MS68, representing exceptional preservation and luster, pushes the value significantly higher, with authenticated high-grade examples often selling between $1,000 and $4,000 depending on the specific variety and eye appeal. This value is driven by the simple fact that despite the massive mintage, few coins survived the rigors of distribution and handling in such pristine condition. For the Cheerios variety, the premiums are exponentially greater, further highlighting the immense value placed on both rarity and preservation. The challenge for any collector is to identify these special pieces, which requires careful examination of the coin's strike, luster, and surface preservation, and authentication by a third-party grading service such as PCGS or NGC. The legacy of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is a powerful and paradoxical one. It is a coin that was launched with the ambition to revolutionize American currency, yet it failed to achieve its primary goal of widespread circulation. Instead, it became a case study in how a failed experiment can evolve into a collector's dream. The very circumstances of its production, the unprecedented mintage, the hasty design change, and the catastrophic errors have gifted the numismatic world with a treasure trove of rarities. The discovery of the Cheerios dollar and the mule era sent shockwaves through the hobby, proving that even in the age of mass production, the magic of discovery and the allure of the extraordinary are very much alive. For the modern collector, this coin offers a rare opportunity to own a piece of history that is both a story of unfulfilled public ambition and a testament to the serendipitous nature of numismatics. As we look back on the year 2000 from our vantage point, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar stands as a monument to a pivotal moment in American history. It was the dawn of a new millennium, a time of technological optimism and cultural change. The coin itself embodies this spirit of renewal, blending a modern composition with a design that honors a foundational figure in the American story. The fact that this coin, born from a desire for progress, has become a favorite subject of serious collectors is a wonderful twist of fate. Its story is a saga of creative vision, industrial might, and human error, all captured in a small golden disc. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual observer, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar invites you to look closer, to appreciate the intricate details of its design, and to understand that within the vast sea of common coins, there are always stories of exceptional worth waiting to be discovered. The coin before you, bearing the simple P mint mark of Philadelphia, looks unremarkable at first, just another golden dollar from the early years of the Sacagawea series. Yet somewhere beneath its gleaming surface lies a secret that has sent ripples through the numismatic world, a story that begins not with the coin's design, but with the very metal from which it was made. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar represents a fascinating crossroads in modern American coinage, a year when the mint was quietly wrestling with production problems while simultaneously experimenting with techniques that would produce some of the most intriguing errors and varieties in the entire series. As we examine this coin together, we will uncover why certain authenticated examples have become prized possessions among serious collectors, and we will discover the subtle clues that separate a common pocket piece from a true numismatic treasure. The journey from the minting presses to the collector's cabinet is filled with unexpected twists, and it all begins with a mintage that, on paper, suggests this coin should be anything but rare. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a pivotal moment for the young series, which had been launched with great fanfare the previous year. By 2001, the U.S. Mint had produced over 62.4 million of these coins at the Philadelphia facility alone, a mintage that ranks among the highest in the series. The coin retained the distinctive golden color achieved through its manganese brass composition, 88, 5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel, and featured Glenna Goodacre's iconic obverse portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, alongside Thomas D. Rogers' soaring eagle reverse. At 26.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing 8.1 grams, the coin was designed to be distinctive and durable, yet the public continued to resist the golden dollar, preferring the familiar paper dollar bill. This widespread indifference meant that vast quantities of these coins sat in Federal Reserve vaults, never seeing circulation, which paradoxically created a situation where high-grade examples are more plentiful than one might expect for a coin of its era. For the typical collector, the 2001 Sacagawea dollar in circulated or lower uncirculated grades holds little premium over face value, with examples grading MS-65 and below often trading for just a few dollars. But as we move up the grading scale, a fascinating transformation occurs. In MS-66, the coin commands around $5 to $28, while in MS-67, values begin to climb modestly to perhaps $8 to $18. However, it is at the pinnacle of the grading spectrum where the true scarcity becomes apparent. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar is only somewhat scarce in MS-68, with thousands of examples known to exist, but in MS-69 condition, the population drops dramatically to fewer than 100 examples certified by PCGS, with none graded higher. This extreme scarcity at the highest grade has driven auction prices for MS-69 examples to between $646 and $3,738, depending on the specific auction and market conditions at the time. A coin that most people would spend without a second thought has, in its finest preservation, become a trophy that serious collectors compete for fiercely. But the true intrigue of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar lies in the remarkable errors and special varieties that emerged during its production. Perhaps the most fascinating of these is the experimental rinse or anti-tarnishing agent variety, a group of coins that were subjected to a mysterious chemical treatment by the U.S. Mint in an attempt to solve the spotting and discoloration problems that had plagued the 2000 Sacagawea dollars. The Mint had been wrestling with the manganese brass alloy, which had proven problematic since the wartime nickel era of the 1940s, and in 2001, they experimented with rinses and finishes to prevent surface defects. These experimental pieces were discovered through normal distribution channels by an alert employee who noticed they had a distinctly different color, appearance, and texture. Certified examples of these experimental rinse coins, graded MS-66 and MS-67, have sold at auction for prices ranging from approximately $100 to $250, with some realizing as much as $253. These coins represent a third type of special Sacagawea dollar struck by the Mint, comparable in rarity to the VIP and burnished issues, and they have become a must-have for collectors of modern mint eras and patterns. Even more dramatic are the off-metal errors that occurred with the 2001 Sacagawea dollar. One of the rarest known modern U.S. mint errors is the 2001 Sacagawea dollar struck on a nickel planchet, a coin that was mistakenly fed into the press with the wrong metal composition. Only 3 examples of this error have been discovered in approximately 20 years, making it an extraordinary prize for any error collector. Similarly, examples struck on quarter planchets have sold for $4,406 and $5,750 at auction, demonstrating the immense premiums that collectors are willing to pay for authenticated off-metal strikes. Off-center strikes are also exceptionally rare for the Sacagawea series, with experts estimating that only 5 or 6 off-center examples were known as of 2010, due in part to the new coining presses used for these dollars that virtually eliminated such errors. A 2001 Sacagawea dollar struck 20% off-center and graded MS65 by NGC sold for $2,640, further underscoring the premium placed on these manufacturing anomalies. Another fascinating error variety is the improperly annealed or sintered planchet error, where the planchets were subjected to excessive heat or improper atmosphere in the annealing furnace, causing copper atoms from the core to migrate to the surface and transform the normal golden finish into a deep copper-brown color. These coins, certified by PCGS in superb gem uncirculated MS67 condition, have sold for prices around $119, offering collectors a relatively accessible entry point into the world of certified mint errors. Each of these varieties adds another layer to the rich tapestry of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar, demonstrating that even a coin with a massive mintage can harbor extraordinary rarity for those who know what to look for. The key to unlocking the value of any 2001 Sacagawea dollar lies in careful observation and professional authentication. Experienced collectors examine a coin's strike quality, surface preservation, original mint luster, and eye appeal before making any judgment about its potential worth. The difference between a $5 coin and a $3,000 coin often comes down to subtle distinctions that only a trained eye can detect, which is why third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC have become essential for serious numismatists. These services provide a trusted benchmark for condition and authenticity, transforming a raw coin into a certified asset with a clear, verifiable market value. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar, with its combination of common mintage and exceptional varieties, serves as a powerful reminder that in the world of coin collecting, true value is never determined by date and mint mark alone, but by the intricate interplay of rarity, condition, and the enduring human fascination with the perfect and the perfectly flawed. The coin before you, gleaming with its distinctive golden hue, appears at first glance to be just another modern dollar, one of tens of millions struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2011. But look closer at the edge of this coin, and you will notice something that most casual observers completely overlook: the incused lettering bearing the date and mint mark, a feature that represents one of the most fascinating engineering challenges in modern coinage. The 2011 Sacagawea dollar, officially designated as the Native American dollar featuring the Wampanoag Treaty reverse, holds secrets that have captivated serious collectors and error specialists for years. As we examine this coin together, we will uncover why certain authenticated examples have become highly prized acquisitions, and we will discover the subtle clues that separate a common pocket piece from a true numismatic treasure. The story of this coin is not written solely on its surfaces, but also on its edge, in the very metal from which it was made, and in the remarkable errors that occurred during its production. The 2011 Native American dollar marks a significant chapter in the evolving story of the Sacagawea series, which had undergone a fundamental transformation in 2009, when the United States Mint began annually rotating the reverse design to honor the contributions of Native American tribes and individuals. For 2011, the Mint chose to commemorate the 1621 treaty between the Wampanoag tribe and the Plymouth colony settlers, an agreement that represented one of the earliest diplomatic exchanges between Native Americans and European colonists in what would become the United States. The reverse design, created by Richard Masters, depicts a hand clasping a ceremonial peace pipe, surrounded by the legend United States of America and $1, with the treaty date visible in the design. The obverse retains Glenna Goodacre's beloved portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back, a design that has become an icon of American numismatics since its introduction in 2000. At 26.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing 8.1 grams, the coin features a manganese brass outer layer composed of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel over a pure copper core. The Philadelphia Mint produced 29.4 million of these coins in 2011, a mintage that on the surface suggests this coin should be anything but scarce. In circulated condition, examples can be found for as little as $1.05 to $1.35, barely above face value. Even in lower uncirculated grades, the coin offers little excitement for the average collector, with MS-65 examples valued around $3 to $5. However, as we ascend the grading scale, a fascinating transformation occurs. In MS-67, the coin commands approximately $30, while reaching MS-68 pushes the value to around $200. The NGC population report reveals that of the 423 examples graded, the average grade is MS-66, with only a precious few achieving the pinnacle of MS-68. This scarcity at the highest grade levels has created a robust market for exceptional examples, with pristine specimens realizing prices that would surprise anyone who assumes all 2011 P dollars are created equal. The true magic of the 2011 P Sacagawea dollar, however, lies not in its pristine condition, but in the remarkable errors that emerged during its production. The most dramatic of these is the plain edge error, a coin that completely skipped the edge lettering step of the minting process. The legend EPLUBUSUNUM, along with the date and mint mark, is normally infused on the edge of the coin after the initial striking, a separate manufacturing step that can sometimes fail. The first recorded discovery of a 2011 plain edge dollar was made by a Wisconsin collector, who found the coin positioned at the end of a roll of presidential dollars purchased directly from the mint. The coin was authenticated and graded by Numismatic Guarantee Corp. As mint-error unk details damaged, and it joined a small but growing family of plain edge errors from 2009 and 2010. While the exact mint of origin of this particular example was unknown, the coin's reverse design definitively identifies it as a 2011 issue, and its discovery sent collectors searching through rolls and bags of dollar coins with renewed enthusiasm. Beyond the plain edge error, the 2011 P Sacagawea dollar has yielded other intriguing mint errors that attract serious collector interest. Weak edge lettering errors occur when the pressure applied during the edge lettering step is insufficient to fully impress the legend into the metal, resulting in shallow, indistinct lettering that can be difficult to read. There are also partial edge lettering errors, where only a portion of the edge legend is present due to the coin becoming misaligned or jammed in the edge lettering machine. And perhaps most fascinating of all are the doubled edge letters and overlap varieties, where the edge lettering appears duplicated or superimposed due to a mechanical malfunction in the edge lettering press. Each of these errors represents a unique moment of manufacturing imperfection, a glimpse into the complex machinery that produces our coinage, and they have become highly collectible among error specialists who appreciate the story behind each imperfect piece. The collector demand for these error coins has created a vibrant market where authenticated, certified examples can command significant premiums. While typical business strikes in MS-67 might sell for $30 to $40, examples with significant edge errors can realize values far beyond that range. A certified doubled edge letter variety, authenticated by a third-party grading service, could attract bids in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the overall preservation of the coin. Similarly, weak edge lettering examples have been known to realize values that substantially exceed their error-free counterparts. It is crucial to understand, however, that not every 2011 Sacagawea dollar carries such potential. The value of any individual coin depends entirely on its grade, the specific variety or era it exhibits, and the current market demand from collectors who specialize in modern mint eras. For the serious collector, the 2011 Sacagawea dollar offers a rich field for investigation. The first step in evaluating any example is to examine the edge lettering carefully. Is the full legend present and sharply impressed? Are there signs of doubling, weakness, or missing letters? Does the orientation of the edge lettering align properly with the obverse, or does it appear shifted or reversed? These questions are best answered with the assistance of a professional authentication service like PCGS or NGC, which can certify the coin's authenticity, assign a numerical grade, and document any errors or varieties present. The NGC price guide notes that pristine, certified examples can sell for as much as $200, while error examples certified by the grading services regularly command even higher prices on the open market. Proper storage in inert, non-PVC flips or capsules is essential to preserve the coin's surface condition and original mint luster, as any damage or cleaning will dramatically diminish its collector value. The legacy of the 2011 Native American dollar extends far beyond its face value or its role in circulation. It represents a moment when the United States Mint honored a pivotal treaty between Native Americans and European settlers, a historical agreement that shaped the course of American history. The coin's design, with its clasped hands and peace pipe, serves as a powerful reminder of the diplomacy that was possible between different peoples, even in an era marked by conflict and displacement. For collectors, this coin offers not just a piece of metal, but a tangible connection to a specific historical moment, a story of human interaction that transcends the coin's modest denomination. And for era specialists, it provides a canvas upon which the fascinating imperfections of modern minting are displayed, each flaw telling its own unique tale of the manufacturing process. Whether you are examining a pristine MS-68 example with mirror-like luster or an error specimen that escaped the mint with a blank edge, the 2011 Sacagawea dollar invites you to look deeper, to appreciate the craftsmanship, the history, and the unexpected rarities that can emerge from the most ordinary of coins. It is a reminder that in the vast sea of modern coinage, every roll you open, every pocketful of change you examine, and every bank bag you search holds the potential for discovery. The coin in your hand today might be worth its face value, or it might be a piece that, with professional authentication, could prove to be a significant addition to a serious collection. The only way to know for certain is to look closer, to examine, and to appreciate the remarkable stories that these golden dollars continue to tell.